Together right now as we gather in stillness, let's remember that prayer is never a solitary act. It moves through us. It moves through everyone holding sacred space at this moment. You are right now joined in one presence and one power, the divine life that sustains all creation. In this awareness, we breathe together, and life breathes back through us. Peace is the ground of my being. And I know that peace is not earned. It is revealed when I rest in divine order. I breathe deeply and let peace settle into every thought, into every feeling, into every space within me. Through the power of faith, I trust that all is unfolding in right time. Through the power of strength, I remain centered and steady. Through the power of strength, I remain centered. Peace expands until it fills my awareness completely. I am one with divine peace, and that peace blesses the world through me. Every moment of stillness becomes an opening for spirit to speak. Divine wisdom is alive within me, offering insight and clarity. I listen and recognize the power of understanding guiding my perception. The power of life flows through every cell of my body and every thought of my mind. God is the source of every good thing. Abundance is not a promise waiting to arrive. It is the reality of divine substance made visible in this very moment. So therefore, through gratitude, I recognize how richly I am supplied. Through understanding, I see that generosity opens every channel of good. I realize all thoughts, I release all thoughts of lack and claim the power of will to live in trust. We now rest in quiet gratitude. This stillness is alive with presence. This silence hums with divine activity. There is one life. There is one power. There is only one love, and it moves through us now. It moves as clarity. It moves as peace. It moves as renewal. Allowing us to step into the moments, the hours, and days ahead with open hearts, awaken to the life that is always unfolding in us, through us, and as us. And it is with gratitude and harmony that we bring this moment of silence to a close, declaring that it is all done in the name and through the power that is in the name of our master teacher and elder brother, Jesus the Christ. Amen, and so it is.
Please join me in our thoughts of prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
I was waiting for that expression on your face. I was waiting for that. I want to tell y'all, Lent does something to me and for me. It really, really does. Do you have your Lent books with you? Say yes. If you don't have them, we've got copies. You got one, Lila? You got one, Holly?
Well, at home, yeah.
Okay, well, bring her one because you're going to need it for the day. And write in this one, write it up. Those of you who are watching virtually, I hope you got one. If you do not have a hard copy, let us know. We do have a few here in the building. Also, you can go to our website, unityoflint.org. There is a link there where you can get an electronic copy. But there is so much in this book that when it is brought out, when we really work with, when we really unpack what is in this book, it will transform you. But I will say this much about that transformation. When it begins to transform you, get ready for a little bit of uncomfortableness. Is that a word, uncomfortableness? Okay, well, it's going to be one for today. Because there's going to be some times when it gets uncomfortable when you start transforming and when you start moving into the being that you were designed and created to be. Because you see, in order for us to make some transformations, it means that we're going to have to let some things go. That's what Lent is all about, letting some things go. Now, once we let some things go, it is important that we replace it with something. And not just replace it with anything, but replace it with something positive. Replace it with something that's going to get us to our goal. So our whole purpose of the Lent process is to eliminate or release something that is not helping us get to our goal, and then reimagine or rethink how we get there. Now, one of the things that we're going to learn on page 23 of your Lent book, that we have to learn to let go, or that we have to learn to release, is doubt.
What page is this?
23, which is for Monday, March the 2nd. Page 23, I release doubt. Ooh, that's a difficult one for some to release, and we're going to see why. It says there are moments when doubt creeps in quietly through questions we can't answer, paths we can't yet seed, or the ache of unspoken and unlived prayers. Doubt can feel like a fog, often at first, then all-consuming. Robbie, I'm not sure what we have to do here, but this is not working today. Next paragraph. This is where it gets real, y'all. Some people think that if we hold on to doubt, we're staying safe. We're staying realistic. Uh-oh. Underline that word. Because this is where the transformation begins to take place. We're going to give up or release this idea of doubt. This whole concept of doubt, maybe it won't work, keeps us, as our text says, safe. When we're safe, that means we don't have anything to do. There are some people who play it safe by saying, if I lower my expectations, I won't be disappointed. That's what this is talking about. They're being realistic. We won't get caught off guard or disappointed again. But in truth, watch this. In truth, doubt weighs more than trust ever will. It keeps us circling the same fear, the same what ifs. See, there are so many people that live in the what if world. Well, what if I don't get the job? What if they don't like me? What if the bill don't get paid? What if? You see, it's time that we move out of what if land into God is land. Okay, that's where we have to begin to work in God is land. That doubt is about releasing that and moving over to what is. Now that's what we learn or what we read on page 24. The next page, because if we are releasing the doubt, we're going to reimagine faith. 1, 2, third paragraph down there. Let faith be the place in you that never forgets. Let faith be the place in you that never forgets. I believe it was said somewhere, I don't know this for sure, but I think he's going to correct me. I think Mary Conley is going to correct me when I say this. There is, from what we learn, a primary cause for suffering. You've heard that? You know, I think I heard that somewhere too. Somewhere it said that the primary cause of suffering is what? Forgetfulness. I always like stuff to make sense and sometimes break it down to its lowest common denominator and as simple as possible. If the problem is forgetting, what is the remedy? Remembering. Let faith be that part of you that never forgets. You see, when the doubt, go back over to page 23, there are moments when doubt creeps in quietly through questions we can't answer. Let faith be the place in you that never forgets. When that doubt creeps in, let faith be what helps you to remember. Now see, here's the strange thing about remembering and faith being the part that never forgets. We remember the words. But we don't remember to act upon it. We remember all the time, God is the source of my supply. You know how I know you remember that? Because you hear me say it all the time. You know those words. You remember the words. God is the source of my supply. But I want faith to be the part in you that never forgets, because we still, even though we remember the words, we doubt it. And we fall back into the what ifs. What if there's not enough money to meet the bill? What if? What if? What if? We are releasing the doubt and reimagining the faith and standing firm on that. Now here's the thing. In releasing the doubt and reimagining the faith, in that exchange, there is something that we will sometimes experience. Now, that emotion that we experience during that exchange is what we learn about on page 25. And that is releasing stress. It starts out there by saying, in such an active and interconnected world. Here's where stress comes in, y'all. It's easy to be influenced by what is happening around us. It's easy to be influenced by what you see on the news. It's easy to be influenced by what you see on TikTok. It's easy to be influenced by the things that people say around you. But I want you to know today that what is happening around you in the outside world of experience is not reality. But wait a minute. It's happening. It's going on. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's not happening. I'm not saying that we ignore it or that we put our head in the sand. But I want you to know that whatever is going on is not the reality. You know, and I'm going to explain to you why I say it is not a reality. Because whatever the situation is, whatever is showing up can and will change. Because if it can change, that means it is not real. Now, there are 5 things that I know are real, that are reality, that will never, that can never, ever change. That's not the lesson today, God. But since you got me here, there are 5 things that I know will never, ever change. Number 1, that will never, ever change is the omnipresence of God. God is everywhere, evenly present. That will never, ever change. There is no place that you or I can go that God is not there, that the presence of God is not. There is no spot where God is not. That will never change. Therefore, that is reality. The second thing that I know for sure is reality that will never, ever change is that every person is made or has been made in the image and likeness of God. Therefore, all people are inherently good. That will never, ever change. That's reality. Now, they may not be expressing it the way I think they should, but that's a whole nother message, and I'm not going there. The third thing that I know for sure that is reality is that your thinking creates your world. There is power in how we think.
Oh, yes.
That your thinking is powerful. The fourth thing that I know for sure that is reality that will never ever change is the connection of prayer. The fifth thing that I know for sure that is a reality that can and never ever change is that it don't matter how much you know. It don't matter how much you learn. It's nothing if you ain't doing anything with it. That's reality. Those 5 things. So anything else that shows up, anything else that's out there, that is factual. Stress comes when we're trying to deal with the facts as reality. That's what causes stress. Look at that second paragraph. In my experience, it's time to pause and acknowledge what's upsetting me. When I said these Lent lessons hit and transform, we're reimagining something. This is one thing that I worked with this week, especially with this, is the question, why am I getting upset? Why am I getting upset? I'm going to give you an example of something that happens to me on a daily basis. Every Monday through Friday at 4:02, the driver of bus number 56 gets on the radio and says, 56 to base, no one is here to pick Jacob up. Jacob is a kindergartner. And when, as a bus driver, we let the student off, if it's a kindergarten or first grade, it's not policy, it's not right to let that child off the bus unless there is a parent or a guardian or someone there to receive that child. Every day, Jacob's daddy's late getting me. And I hear her get on the radio, I hear that driver get on the radio and say, there's nobody here to pick Jacob up. I begin to ask the question, why am I getting upset? See, this is where we go. The why, we're going to go through that whole scenario about what's going on. But if we're going to reimagine it, this is where I want us to shift to. Why am I getting upset? Same question, but the emphasis is on a different part. Why am I getting upset? That's the real question. The stress that we experience in our lives is not because of the scenario, your why. The real stress is in that underlying reason. Because there is something going on in you, there is something going on in us that's not that. Question begins, why are you getting upset? Not that, because that can go on all day, every day. I had to reimagine it, look at it like this. Guess what? Jacob ain't on my bus. So it wasn't my monkey, it wasn't my circus. And I was getting upset about it. That causes us stress, dealing with something something, putting all of our attention in a monkey that ain't got no business in your circus. Bottom of that page. A few deep breaths or a quiet walk can help me in releasing tension and anxiety. You see, there are some times that you don't have I don't have the privilege to take a quiet walk at 4:02 when I hear that, when I'm driving down door and the other people on the road are driving crazy. I don't have that privilege. So what can I do? What can you do when a stressful situation comes up? I place everything that troubles me in God's hands. Do you see that in the book? I want you to underline it. I want you to highlight it. I want you to circle it, whatever you got to do. See, it's right there. It's right there, y'all. I place everything. Y'all got that? Okay. I place everything that troubles me in God's hands. Come on, together. I place everything that troubles me in God's hands. Again, I place everything that troubles me in God's hands. One more time, come on. I place everything that troubles me in God's hands. I saw you. Come on, you. Just you by yourself. You by yourself. No, you. Come on. No, them. Come on. All right, good. I heard you that time. We are releasing our stress. In our Lenten season, it's about moving from one thing to another. Now, we can get to the real meat of today's lesson. The misuse of the imagination. In order to understand the misuse of imagination, let's look at page 30. Our imagination is a powerful gift. I have to do this because one of the people watching is one of my instructors, and I have to make sure that I follow the rules of speaking and give my definitions. What is the imagination? The imagination, watch this, is the faculty or action of forming ideas. It is the faculty or action of forming images. It is the faculty or action of forming concepts, watch this, that are objects that are not presented to the senses. That's the imagination. Forming an idea not present to the senses. That's what imagination is. This book gives us a new word. I think I can say it right. Help me with that. Catastrophizing. Did I say it right?
Yes, Drafton. You said it right.
I said it right?
You said it right.
Okay, that word. Now, I don't know if I can say it right again. But basically what catastrophizing means is we imagine the worst case scenario. We're jumping to conclusions. It's the misuse of our ability to form ideas that are not present to the senses. Or we even take what is presented to the senses and run left with it. It ain't got nothing to do with this. Whatever we're given, whatever we're presented, we jump to whatever the worst case scenario is. That's why we have to, as we learned earlier in this week's lesson, is to release the doubt and reimagine the faith. Because when we have the doubt, we're always going to assume failure. When that doubt creeps in, we are always going to interpret unnecessity as danger. We're always going to do that. We're always going to think, what is the worst thing that could possibly happen? And that is the misuse of our imagination. And I'm going to show you why it is the misuse of our imagination. That next paragraph right there says, according to Florence Scovel Shinn, in The Game of Life and How to Play It, which is a very, very wonderful book, imagination is the scissors of the mind. Thus, our mental scissors create the form and shape of our lives. The scissors cut out and shape and form our lives. That's what the imagination is. This is where it gets interesting. And Mary Conrad, I think you're going to identify with this. So I'm going to come over here and I need you to co-sign on this with me. Have you ever tried to do projects like paper crafts, home DIY, or sewing with dull or broken scissors? Thank you, thank you. Ooh, I was waiting for that. As long as you co-signed, I'm good. It doesn't work when you try to cut something out with dull scissors. I'm going to tell y'all something about me. This is a personal thing. As a hairstylist, don't ever, ever, ever cut paper with the scissors I used to cut hair with. That will get the biggest argument from me. Do not use my hair cutting shears to open up a box that came from Amazon. Ooh. Why? Because if I pay $230 for a pair of shears, this is when I the height of my salon, I would buy the best shears possible. Even now, I'm not going to buy those shears, but I'm going to pay a pretty penny for hair cutting shears because they are tempered, beveled, and sharpened to cut hair, not paper. Side note, if anybody is having problems with split ends, it's probably because the shears or the scissors that are used are not sharpened right. Anyway, the next line says, okay, have you ever tried sewing with dull or broken scissors? Your creation will be faulty. Let's deal with this dull or broken shears. We know that the imagination is the scissors to your mind. You're going to get split ends from getting a haircut with dull scissors. What happens to your life when your imagination is dull? Now, how do we get dull imagination? I'm going to share a few things with you that dull your imagination or dull these scissors. The first thing that dulls your imagination or makes your scissors dull is trying to work with somebody else's vision. Trying to work with somebody else's vision. You see, the scissors, your imagination cuts out your world, but if you are trying to cut your world out according to somebody else's vision, your imagination gets dull because that's not for you, that's for them. How do you see you? Which leads to the next thing that dulls your imagination, or that dulls your shears, your scissors, is when you try to work with somebody else's vision for you. When you try to work with somebody else's vision for you, that distorts or dulls your ability to shape your own world, because you're trying to do what somebody else wants you to do. This is why I am who I am, because nobody else can shape me or mold me. I won't let you. Another reason that another way that we dull our scissors is when we are operating with wrong or outdated material. One thing that will dull your natural scissors faster than anything else is if you are cutting what you're not supposed to cut with it. Which is what we do when we, help me with the word, y'all, catastrophizing. Did I say it right? Okay. That's what we're doing. Catastrophizing is cutting the wrong thing with our scissors, and we're making them dull. So what we want to do is learn how to, watch this, sharpen our scissors. We want to learn how to sharpen our imagination. Now, there's a couple of things that we can do to sharpen our imagination. There's three things that I'm going to give you that will sharpen your imagination. They're in your book, but I'm going to give them to you up here. Let's see now. Where are we in the book? It's the same when we attempt to create meaning with distorted mental stories. Yeah, I covered that. We worry and think the worst will happen to our children and partners. I covered that. Future. Okay, next paragraph. Page 30. Page 30. Here we go. Here are ways to sharpen your scissors, to sharpen your imagination. Number one, we must pause before we snip to create. We got to pause. That's number one. Before we do anything, we have to pause. In other words, I'm saying it short like this. Stay in your lane. That's the one way we sharpen our imagination or our vision, is we stay in our lane. We must pause before we snip to create. Number two, we must take a breath, turn inward, and know the spiritual truth. That sentence is number two. I want you to write a number two there, underline it, circle it, go on, holler. You can write it in that book, it's yours. Number two, we must take a breath, turn inward, and know the truth. Turn inward. That's an important part of the second one that I'm going to give you, because I'm giving you what the book says, but I'm giving you mine as well. Mine says, stay out of other people's lanes. This is how you sharpen your imagination. Stay in your lane and stay out of other people's lane. This is what I mean. There is something that you have. There is a gift. There is a talent. There is something that you are good at. There is something that you and only you are here on this planet to do. I want you to work on that and stay out of somebody else's business. We got to stop trying to tell somebody else how to do what they should be doing. That's hard for us. It's hard for us to let somebody else be. And here's why it's difficult for us to let somebody else be. And it's hard for us to stay in our lane and to stay out of somebody else's lane is because of that 3-letter word, ego. You wanting to be right. Can you, think about this, this is a very, very serious question that will get you through and will get you over and you will succeed. I have succeeded. I have gotten to this point. This is my testimony right here. I'm so glad I finally got this. It took me years to get it. But can we get to the point where, or what does it take to get to the point where you don't use I told you so? You get out of I told you so when you sharpen your shears. There was a client I had that came in to the salon, and what she wanted was the absolute wrong thing. I didn't like it. I did not want to do it. But that's what the client wanted. And I knew it was wrong. I knew it wasn't right. I knew it was ugly. And I told her, I said, look, baby, once I do this, don't let my name come out your mouth. Don't tell nobody I did this. I didn't like it. She did not look good in it at all. But she came to me every week and gave me money to do that. I struggled for a long time, saying, but no, honey, that's not right. That don't look good on you. I had to stay out of my lane and let her have it. The last time I saw her, guess what? She had the hairstyle that I had been suggesting all along. You stay out of other folks' lane and stay in your lane when we get to this point. When we're grateful they get it, whether you told them or not. Because what's more important? That they get it or that you told them? We want them to get it, but we want to be the one that get them to say, wake up, I'm the one that woke you up. It don't matter who woke them up. The question is, or the main thing, that they woke up. So, you want to sharpen your imagination? Stay in your lane. Stay out of somebody else's lane. Last example about staying in your lane and staying out of somebody else's lane. Books are important. Books are important. Is it your lane to write a book? People tell me all the time, Rev, you should write a book. No, that's not my lane. I'm not going to write the book. It is not in me to write a book right now. I'm going to say it like that. Because the only thing that I'm going to do is tell you what I read in a book. Because if y'all look at it, everything I'm telling you comes from Lessons in Truth. Are you supposed to write the book? People tell me all the time, write the book, write the book, write the book. Are you supposed to be the author? You might be the publisher. So what is your lane? Your lane may not be the author. Your lane may be the publisher. Your lane may not be the CEO of the company. Your lane may be the head of HR. Stay in your lane. Here's the difficulty. In staying in your lane and staying out of folks' lane, they don't know. what's their lane. They don't know what's the other one. So if you want to sharpen your shears, here's a third thing that you should do. Stay in a class. I'm going to give you, I still got a little bit more to go. I'm going to close. I'm going to give you the sure way to know when you don't need to be in a class. Here's the only way, or the best way I know for you to tell if when you don't need a class. The day you don't need a class is the day they call me to do your eulogy. Sharpening your imagination. What is the reason for sharpening our imagination? Genesis 13, chapter, 14th verse, 14th and 15th verse. And the Lord said unto Abram, after that Lot was separated from him, lift up now thine eyes, and look from the place where thou art. That's an important point right there. From the place where you are. It's not saying that you got to be all grand, but wherever you are, look from that place. The difficulty with a lot of people is we don't look from that place. We're only looking at where we are. Look up, from, away, further. It says northward, southward, eastward, westward. Expand your vision. Why should you expand your vision? It simply says here, for the land which thou seest, I will give it and to thy seed forever. You can have all of the land that you see. The problem is most of us is looking like this and wonder why this is all we get. It's time for us to sharpen our scissors. Let's look at the bottom of that page and we can close out. Let's look at the bottom of that page and we can close out. I invite you to affirm today. I want y'all to read this with me. Make sure y'all got it. Make sure you got it. Bottom of page 31. Bottom of page 31. Y'all see where I'm at, where I says, I invite you to affirm today. Everybody with me? Come on, let's go. My imagination is the sacred scissors of my mind. Oops, stop right there, stop right there. Underline my mind. Your imagination are the sacred scissors to your mind, not your friend's mind. Not your children's mind. Not your parents' mind. Definitely not your boss's mind. Okay, let's keep going. A visionary tool for manifesting dreams. A healing practice for resilience. Come on. And a portal to divine wisdom. Let's keep going. Come on. With each thought. Oh, stop right there. Underline that. That's cool. That's good. With each thought, come on now, I cut patterns of possibilities. That's wonderful right there. You see, instead of cutting patterns of possibilities, sometimes we cut patterns of problems. We're cutting out the worst case. What's the word? Catastrophe. Yeah, that one. That's what we do. Instead of cutting out pictures of possibilities, we're cutting out pictures of problems over and over and over again. Okay, where we at? Come on, let's keep going. I release fear-filled designs and stitch together a life of joy, faith, and divine purpose. Ooh, that's some good stuff. Come on, let's keep going. And the designer of my destiny. No, wait a minute. I am. Come on. the designer of my destiny. Oh, wait a minute.
I am.
Who is?
I am.
Your boss is, right?
No. I am.
Your friend is the designer of your destiny. Ain't that what it said?
No. I am.
Them haters are the designers of your destiny, right?
No.
Okay, who is the designer? I am. Let's go. Come on. I am the designer of my destiny and the artist of my abundance. I fashion a life of love, bold, beautiful, and blessed. I fashion that world. How do I fashion that world? I fashion that world by how I use my imagination. I fashion that world by how I work within me. I begin to cut things out the way I want them to be. It said best in song this way. I love you. God bless you. This is some good stuff, isn't it? Okay, y'all, I'm done. subdue